All right, we are back. Going to be taking some questions from you guys from the Reddit thread. The call-ins, we're going to do some call-ins, but my call-in guy is seems to be not around right now, which is surprising me. So hopefully we'll do some sub call-ins at the end, but we'll take some questions from Reddit. I'm sorting by top, guys, and number one is indubitably my dear wants to know, won't Cody be dramatized by having to be on the same show as the arrogant diva that made him leave EG?
I thought I did rather well, all things considered. No, Chris and I are close. Our relationship was certainly a little more strained when that documentary was made. I think maybe Chris got a little more grief than he should have, but I mean, he can tell me if I'm wrong, but as far as I can tell, we're friends now.
Are we friends?
Yeah, yeah,
Are we friends?
I think
yeah,
we're friends. I think
yeah,
we're
yeah,
friends.
yeah,
He got
yeah,
invited to the wedding.
yeah.
Oh,
We're,
that's
we're,
Yeah,
big set.
we're close
uh,
enough. There were certainly times where it wasn't all that awesome, Chris. I think you could agree, but
yeah.
yeah,
We both, yeah. I had my moments, and then Cody on the later part of EG, there were moments as well.
yes,
But I mean, the thing about the documentary when it came out is like you got to realize is that for like every hour, let's say that they interviewed each of us, they took like maybe a minute from each hour. So, they
They're
pick
making a
they
story.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
choose what they want to show you. So, um, yeah,
there we go.
whatever.
Boom.
Boom. All
That
right.
handled well. Handled well.
Handled well. Damn, filtered fuckers. So King Namzateri asks, where the fuck is Richard Lewis? Is there some drama we don't know about? There's no drama. No, we did not sell 50 t-shirts yet. And so it's not because of that either. It's just because he wants to spend some quality time with his lady until, because I think All Stars is going to be a crazy, crazy week for him.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see Richard back next week. He'll give us an update on all the All Star and all the crazy League of Legends stuff going on. Dark Autumn asks, Destiny, did Twitch make you stop restricting your chat? For context, it used to be chat was only allowed on his website, and Twitch chat was sub only with no subs. Now there's chat going on in both his Twitch channel and on his website. Do you worry Twitch will try to stop you or other streamers from advertising their own website as prominently as you do?
The reason why I stopped restricting my strat is because I pretty much advertised my main website enough. Like, I'm pretty sure if you watch my stream, you probably know about my website. So I figure anybody that's chatting there is doing it. So if you're not, I mean, it's no
Yeah.
real reason not to have the Twitch chat open if you want to talk on there, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of like Twitch stopping people from promoting their websites, I mean, I don't think enough people do it that it bothers them too much at the moment. But I mean, maybe in the future they might. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's the same ads though, right? That run. So I mean, even if it's embedded on your site, I mean,
Yeah, but
the sub
Twitch,
system, they don't make the revenue from the subs, but
no, but they do have like pop up. No, not pop up. But don't they have ads on stream pages? I thought they did. Maybe they don't anymore.
they
Oh,
do.
maybe they don't
Yeah,
anymore.
they do. They do in the top right hand corner, right? They always have those ads that are kind of annoying. I always close them right when they start. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. So yeah, they've been
Oh,
missing out on that too. But they still monetize you even if it's embedded.
yeah, of course.
So it's kind of good. Um, Neuraxis asks to Huck, what are some top tips for trying to stay relevant in the scene?
What?
Is he being like sarcastic? Do vlogs, I guess.
Do
Since I get
vlogs.
so much shit for that. I like it's such a random question. I don't know. Release a sex tape? I don't know
Sex
what the
tape,
fuck.
baby.
So it certainly
Just
couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
just go like some links that you're on Facebook, that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Great questions.
Yeah. Dist Channelman, is Goblin Boss like not on this week's Unfiltered because you sold enough shirts? No, it's not. That's not the reason. I just said why. Answer. Oh, Richard's not here. We'll keep going here. NFX Jehudi asks, Huck, would you ever consider going back to creative practice, or do you believe you have reached your skill cap?
I would consider it as far as living there long term. I wouldn't want to do it again. I would maybe do it if I like get into a team house with my own room, but that's never gonna happen. So basically, no.
So you just hate sharing
I
rooms with
hate.
people?
Yeah, I'm past that lifestyle. I've been through enough team houses where it's been way overcrowded and uncomfortable, and yeah, No thanks.
All
I would
right.
agree 1,000,000% with that. Fuck that shit. Sharing a room with fucking 3 people, and which is like pretty average for. I assume most other Korean houses are like that, right? I know in the Startail house there's
Well,
2 to 3 to a room.
at the end of OGS, they like brought in a LOL team to an already overpacked SC2 team. So in the room that I was in, there was 3 sets of bunk beds, and they were so close you could literally, when you were climbing down one of them, your butt was touching the other one. Like
Yeah.
literally no space, and then there was people sleeping in the floor in between the bunk beds. It was
Shit.
it was in, and it was like summertime. It was fucking hot. It was, yeah, no, can't
Yeah,
do it.
fuck that.
What was the smell in those rooms?
Koreans don't smell.
What?
Actually,
That's
Koreans,
nice.
deodorant is like not even sold in Korea. Whenever I bought deodorant, I'd have to buy it outside of Korea when I went to foreign tournaments. So
Yep, I said this yesterday on stream and nobody fucking believed me. Fuck all of you. Asian people don't sweat as much. It's
Actually,
like a
I don't.
biological fact.
It's true. I don't sweat as much.
Yeah,
like
it's
for
like a
Koreans are
biological
like
fact.
the even more advanced of the Asians.
The
Fucking
more-
Select's
the
fucking hilarious when he's under influence of certain drugs. He's like
Wow,
talking. He's like
what?
he's like
Wow.
I'm so evolved, son. We're fucking evolved. Look at this shit. We don't smell. What the fuck? It's funny as shit.
Oh, fucking select.
Yeah.
Cracks me up. But no, I think that's true. I think that's generally true. I don't. I barely wear deodorant too, and I don't stink. Yeah.
I met you, ChanManV. You can't completely lie.
All right, Manakino asks Destiny, when will you do a follow up on Alice Cherry?
I don't know, someday.
Someday, yeah.
She was a cool dude.
She wa-
We'll do it. We'll do it someday. Don't worry. We'll get it.
she
I'll
was
figure
cool,
something out.
right?
It's, you just have to think of a way to make it like entertaining. Like the first time was funny because listening to Desert talk to any girl, let alone a my free camps model, is fucking hilarious. But I mean, I can't just go back and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then she's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then it's like, "Okay, we'll be fucking boring. We'll think of some. We'll think of something like strip StarCraft or something. I don't know. We'll find pros to play against each other and we'll do some shit."
All right, to Huck Destiny, I was working. So UAH Lateralus asks, I was working at the beach stage at LCS3. What are some things that came up with your experience that could have been avoided to help the players casters? What are things that the event actually did better than other events?
Well, I don't think Steven was there. I don't know what the
Yeah.
B stage was. Maybe it was like the secondary little
Stream
small
thing,
stage,
I guess, or-
So I guess the one you were casting, Destiny. So what did he want to know? What
I
was
guess what are
good?
some things like that they could have done better? What are some of the things that they did that was better than other events?
Most of all was just the staff was very accommodating and nice, and like usually when tournaments are trying to like they have like a tight schedule and they need to do everything like in a certain order, and then
Mhm.
they're like, you know, you got like 20 seconds to set up and get into the lobby, or you know, you need to do this, you need to do that right now, and then you're like, can I go to the bathroom? And they're like, I don't know, like, and then like they were just very much very understanding. They were very helpful for the players. As far as what they could have done better, I don't know, like the obvious technical issues. Other than that, maybe some better way to soundproof. But I mean, they're a small event. You're not expecting like some super expensive booth or I don't know, some other shit. They did.
What happened
they,
with all the people getting stuck at the airport? I mean, like it must have been resolved because everyone played their matches and stuff. Was that just like?
You mean people not getting picked up, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get picked up, but I wasn't expecting to get picked up. But I guess a lot of people were told they were going to be picked up.
Okay. Word.
The way I did it was like, if I needed to go somewhere, I called like one of the staff members or like tweeted at them or text them, and they were like, okay, we'll send someone over, or
That's
this guy
great.
can take you or whatever. So
Yeah.
like, they were disorganized, but they were always willing to do whatever you wanted. So
Okay. Word.
like if you expected them to be somewhere or do something on time, probably wasn't going to happen. But if you like called them or texted them 10-20 minutes before, like I could have probably got dropped off at the movies and they would have done it. Like they didn't give a fuck.
Were most of the players staying at a hotel?
Yeah, I
know
was gonna
last
ask that
time
too.
They
Yes,
stayed at a lot of houses. Okay. Word.
I'm pretty sure everybody was staying at this one particular hotel, and I think actually they booked most of the rooms.
That's
The
legit.
tournament. Yeah.
Last
Wow,
time, a lot of people
nice.
stayed at houses because I think it was cost prohibitive because it was the
know-
weekend after Dallas. So like a lot of players
Yes.
actually spent the week in Austin,
That's
which
right.
is actually kind of sick because Austin is just a fucking incredible town.
they
Austin's
they
awesome.
rented like some mansion for a lot of the staff and
Mansion.
casters maybe or something. Yeah, it was like a really nice mansion. So there's gonna be the after party was gonna be there, but then they had a party the night before that after party, and they did something wrong and they got kicked out. Like not even like the party got
What?
stopped. Like they got kicked out of the mansion.
Oh wow,
So
interesting.
What? Okay, so you're talking about mansions now. So I think it's a good time to bring up something that we forgot to bring up last week, which was the crowdsourcing, right? The whole Indiegogo that they did, right, for this
Oh.
event.
Yeah,
So
it
that
was a
came up like
lackluster.
crazy short, right?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't even close. So the 6,000. And in the Indiegogo, they mentioned that they talked about what I guess a lot of the funds would go towards and that sort of thing.
I think they didn't talk about that enough as far as what it was gonna go to, because
Yeah.
there was like definitely some uh as far as like all the things I read, I wasn't sure what the money may or may not be going to.
Yeah, that was the biggest
Even
reason
after
why
you
people
read
didn't
it, like I
contribute.
mean,
Yeah,
you're
you're
gonna
like
have a big tournament. You've got the invite list, but you need 40,000 more. It's like, well, why?
why?
Like,
Well,
and
they
we don't get any.
well they
But
also
like,
said this event's going to happen regardless if we get it
Yeah,
or not.
yeah,
too.
yeah, that's
So
what I'm saying.
it's
So
kind
it's
of
like,
like
why?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Uh,
like, are you like right now you're breaking even and you want these donations to make a profit,
Mansion
or
parties, dude.
did
Mansion
Yeah, the
you
mansion party must have come out of pocket.
or did you like maybe someone borrowed all the money, decided to run the event and hope they were gonna get it back? Like, I don't like, I have no idea what was happening. And it was like
It,
way too much money for to ask for, I feel.
it was
Yeah.
interesting because the last tier, so they're all college students, right? The last tier for the Kickstarter actually just looks like a traditional sales pitch.
Oh,
So it was like
what?
they were
Let me see.
trying to Indiegogo.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
because like the last one is like your title sponsor for the. So it was.
We'll
It's just,
show
so they were
this
trying
and
to.
Oh, I thought the last one
Yeah.
was the Hearthstone part, man. No?
No. Who the fuck cares about Hearthstone?
Fuck
Shaman?
you, man.
I don't know.
Fuck you,
Wow.
dick.
But it looked like yeah there was like a tier that was like 6,000 and above, so it was as if they were using Indiegogo as one leg of their sales, you know. Because I'm sure they also like they had college kids doing cold calling and stuff, because they did have sponsors. Uh, but yeah, that project was a little heartbreaking to watch it sort of
Unfold.
drag itself, you know, along over the course of a month or two.
Yeah, it was just. So, it was executed really, really poorly. Just overall, just in general. Even if you wanted to raise money, I mean, like all the things that we just talked about, on top of just the way I think the Reddit thread was worded, it was just very. The tone was just very, very wrong for especially for something like Lone Star Clash and Tespa, which has always been endearing to the community and that sort of thing. But what I wanted to know is that they talked about just like production and stuff. I mean, the production was fine, right? I mean, like was the in-venue production okay with, I guess, the projector or just how it was shown to the folks that were there and
Yeah, the crowd was pretty nice. They had some like light issues that I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
in the business of making the shit, but I there were some obvious concerns that I felt like could have been a little bit better. But
Mhm.
overall, it was pretty good. I think the crowd was pretty. It was pretty good for StarCraft 2. I don't know so much for LoL. Sometimes it was bad, sometimes it was okay. But
I mean, just the experience for the crowd was fine, right?
yeah,
Just-
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so I
Um,
really don't even know. I have any idea where what any of that money would have gone towards.
yeah.
Well, they
It's weird
I mean,
too,
they,
because, like,
they
the
did a good job
Indiegogo-
explaining it.
Well, the Indiegogo ended like the week before,
Did it?
like maybe 3 days before. Like, does Indiegogo work like Kickstarter, where like you don't get the money,
No, you get it.
No,
with
you
any
do
go-
get it,
You
you
get it
do.
no matter
you
what.
get it as it comes along?
Okay,
That would be
so
the only
you-
way to make sense.
Oh, okay. They
either
spelled
get-
it
you
out a
either
little
get
bit
it-
better now. Okay.
You either get it as it comes along, or you get all of it at the end. You get it even if you don't like meet your goal, though.
Okay, word.
To be fair, just because we're talking about a lot,
Yeah.
there were some. They did detail out like what the extra money was going towards pretty clearly. I think.
I'm kind of
It
looking
just
at it.
didn't seem like it just didn't seem very necessary, like compared to like having the tournament and the players. Like if you've already got that, then
What more do you want?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
the-
like increased production value or something, right? Like we'll
Pretty
make
much.
it better.
Well, we're looking. Okay, so here it is. I don't remember seeing this the first time I saw the Indiegogo, by the way. So I don't know if they might have changed it along the way after just the initial reactions to it. But it's kind of spelt out here, and it says to be clear, the money is not going towards prize pool, not going towards staff costs, hosting, and caster costs. To be entirely transparent, the money is going in order from the highest and lowest priority: venue costs, equipment, player travel accommodations, and then production improvements. So, I mean, I don't think what they raised like $6,000. I don't, or $7,300. Does that cover all the travel? It probably doesn't cover venue costs.
Yeah,
those
but I
are
mean, then
expensive
how do
here.
they
Yeah.
do this? They borrow
Yeah,
the
that's what I
money
mean,
and
like-
they get it, and then they're like, well, we need to not fucking go into debt. So
Well,
we're
they have
gonna-
sponsors. They kind of got like
Justin-
a whole.
Justin Grindle chip in. Every time something happens, it's anytime any esports happen in Texas, I suppose. I presume that Justin Grindle's.
I don't even know
the
who that
crossman.
is.
Oh, you don't know Justin Grindle? You're truly missing out.
Maybe I met him and I don't remember or something. I don't know.
That was a joke, but yeah.
Wait, who's
Um,
Justin Grindle?
You don't
What the
remember, dude? He
Was he
exists.
the
I promise.
VC? Was he the VC behind Quantic or whatever?
No,
No, no,
that
no,
guy?
no.
no,
He,
not the Google guys.
There's
Texas.
too many sketchy people in esports.
He's not
Cody.
sketchy.
Wait,
that's
wait,
He's not
the
sketchy.
joke. Not
Who is?
sketchy.
Wait, who
He's
is the
the
big
fucking
VC
man.
guy? The big VC guy behind Quantic. What was that guy's name?
It was Chucky or Steven. There's two guys right behind.
The initial
That's
one. He
the-
did like
one of the Google guys,
You're
right?
talking about Mark, or are you talking about the two
not
Google
Mark.
guys?
There was
That's
another
fucking weird.
guy. Oh God.
Well,
what
there-
he,
there was
like, he
Chucky, and then
hosted
there
a
was
lot of-
Steven.
No, it wasn't Chucky. He hosted
I have
a lot
no
of
idea.
parties and shit.
What
oh,
the fuck
fuck.
is going on?
No, this guy was crazy. I need to know his name now. I thought
The
it was
little
Justin.
guy. The little
He-
guy, Destiny.
Dude,
That
like
throws
we're.
parties?
You talking about the most
Little guys,
recent
what do you mean?
guy?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he was. Kind of a
Simon?
little
You're
guy.
talking about Simon, or
No, he's not recent. It was like from 2 years ago.
In
Oh my
StarCraft
God.
2.
Yeah, in
What?
StarCraft 2. I remember he promised, like me, Mark, and a few other guys in Quantic that we would have like BlizzCon passes and shit, and we ended up showing up at BlizzCon, and he hadn't like made any arrangements like whatsoever, and it was like the most awkward fucking thing in the universe. Oh my God, I don't remember what the guy's name was. I thought it was Justin, but maybe not.
What's he look like?
Ian,
Paint
right?
a picture with your words.
He's kind of like my height, maybe like around my height. He's got brown hair. I think he's
Lazar-
yeah, I think he has
Lazarus?
glasses.
Noah
No.
Lazarus?
Noah Lazarus?
No,
That's
Lazarus.
a trip down memory lane. Oh my God.
He's
Was
old
it
school.
Some guy said Joe, but he also hosted a ton of parties. Like at every event, he would always host a party and shit, and try to get everybody to go. His name might have been Joe. I don't know. Fuck it.
Oh,
Joe?
it is Joe.
Oh.
Because I think
Oh.
isn't that the guy that tried to do something with EG? Cody?
Not Monster Joe, right?
No, not Monster Joe. This got so
God.
fucked up so quickly.
The other Joe? That Joe
Justin-
that was. It was Joe that tried to do a fucking party or something.
This guy would talk
the hell is
so
he
Oh,
talking
you
about?
much.
remember-
You know who I'm talking about?
The
like-
MLG Anaheim
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
TL
yeah, yeah,
lounge?
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
MLG
yeah, yeah,
Anaheim
yeah,
TL
yes,
lounge? Yeah.
yes. That
That
Joe.
guy was bizarre.
That he would talk so much. Like he had so much talk with like nothing behind it. It was pretty interesting.
That
Fucking.
was 2011 or 2012? Was it
Both.
Hold
Bomber's,
on.
Bomber's
Apparently
Bomber's
my
wife
volume's
got really
too low.
mad at him because he was out drinking before his players were eliminated from the tournament. That was a crazy MLG. Not him.
Anyways.
Not him. Anyway, I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Sorry that felt
I don't know where we
Chat's like,
we
what
got
the
with that
fuck, who
exactly.
cares? Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, the whole Indiegogo, that was kind of weird by Lone Star Clash's standpoint, but good to see that the event still was pulled off, and hopefully somebody's not out of a lot of money for some reason. Let's see. Next up, we got what are we doing? Overdozer. What do you guys think of Nation Wars? Thoughts on the concept, crowdfunding, and stuff? Are you looking forward to it?
I'm in it, so I'm looking forward to it. I feel like there's a lot of like pride and stuff. It's like really weird the way StarCraft 2's gone because I look at LoL. Well, like I think people undervalue like how important rivalries are in StarCraft 2 or any esport or sport in general. And I think they overlook how much people look up to certain players or something. And when you look at like LoL, they still have like these very segregated areas. Like you have LCS for NA, EU, Korea. So they don't get the Korean dick shoved in their anuses every single week like StarCraft 2 does. Like I go to fucking a smaller tournament like Lone Star Clash, right? And it's like that Korean dick is still there. You still got Jaedong, you still got Paul, you still got Bomber coming to these smaller tournaments. And LoL, you got like this fucking one time a year you got to see these Asian evolved motherfuckers that are just going to destroy you, right? And Nation Wars is going to be kind of like where we can segregate that and we can see like who actually is the best country or best foreigners or whatever. So I really like it, and I think it's a really good idea. As far as the crowd funding goes, as long as there's like a decent size prize pool and then there whatever is on top is just gravy, then I'm all for it. I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything, as long as it is fine.
Apparently, y'all sound is very it's too loud now. God, who the heck's man? Somebody's saying it's too loud. Somebody's saying it's not loud enough.
I think you're loud and we're all quiet.
I just turned you guys up a lot, though.
Thanks.
Okay.
Our voices need to be heard.
Okay, so I think it's fixed now. We did nothing, so I don't. It's kind of weird. Okay. All right. So I don't know. What do you guys think of Nation Words? Steven, know anything about Nation Words or?
So I'm not gonna lie, I always assumed that Nation Wars was that thing that Total Biscuit was doing on the MLG TV thing, but it kind of sounds like they're different things now, so I'm not entirely
They
sure.
are.
Clan Wars.
What
I'm
was his
excited
thing?
for it.
Those were
His
Clan
name's called-
Wars, man.
Yeah, okay, no, never mind then. No,
Okay.
I have no
No,
fucking
Nation
idea.
Wars is like the country on country
So
type of thing.
yeah,
Oh,
they,
all I
three-man
hope
teams.
is that Naniwa can, for the pride of his country, fight alongside Thorzane one day. Represent.
Oh man, that was terrible. That was terrible. So I'm looking at the teams here. Take a look, and you guys got stacked. I mean, Scarlet and you. I mean, Dez is pretty not bad either. You got a pretty good team.
Solid.
Correct,
I bet he
Desro.
appreciates that.
I know
bet he
you're in
appreciates
chat,
that, Chris.
Desro.
Yeah,
Get
I just
fucked.
saw him.
Dez is like messaging me the whole time, like your fucking sound is terrible right now.
Correct.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Canada looks pretty strong. The entire team. And let's see what else we got here. All right, France looks pretty good too. Germany, solid team. Germany's got one of each too. Why didn't you get a Terran in your freaking lineup, dude?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's not about racial balance. It's about best players. But the thing is, it's like
It's about winning games, dog. We don't have time for Terran where we're going.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
it was
finishing better than Pro.
it was voted in. So it was like a popularity contest basically. Who got in?
It was fucked up. I didn't. So this was my bad for not being intelligent enough to catch this. I was on Finland. No, I was on France by the time I noticed that there was a scroll bar in the votes. So like, the first handful of votes I made were just completely fucked. Like you were in because it was in alphabetical order, I was able to catch you, but I was really surprised Stefano wasn't in there. And then I noticed the scroll bar, so fuck me.
I
All
think
right, who's the worst team? Let's
Link it,
Let's
link
go
it.
unfiltered. Who's the worst team?
link it and I'll
Here we
look
go,
and I'll
here
tell
we
you.
go.
I'm fucking ready
Everybody.
to bash some countries. I'm not going to one DreamHack this year. Let's find out what country that is. My first, like, just looking over it, I want to say Italy. Like, Italy, get fucked. I'm sorry. Your players are
I
not
don't
that
even know
good.
those guys. Who are those guys?
Yeah, saying Italy. Just
Italy
looking at the
actually does
country.
look pretty
Dude,
bad.
Mexico, major carry in Mexico. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Mexico and Italy are pretty bad, to be honest.
I didn't even
Maker's
know
still
Jim and
playing in
Maker
France?
were still playing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think he started again when he got invited to, like, some smaller online tournament.
I don't think Makers. I've played him a few times on ladder. He seems like hella rusty. He's like solidly like low GM.
But-
and I'm
What the crowdfunding status is at 19%, and the goal is 145,000 euros. Is that not fucking insane?
What?
That seems like a shitload of money.
Dude, you better win this fucking thing, dude. Oh my god.
Like, this is biggest.
You're gonna get like
StarCraft-
70,000. Like it's usually 50.
Yeah, you can read. They've already collected 30,000 euro, which is sick.
What?
Holy
On
shit,
top of
that's
it,
a
wow.
lot.
The Lone Star Clash people, they need to contact them and figure out what's so special about this.
Dude, they only got 17 minutes. They're reaching about as close as their goal as the Lone Star Clash reached, though.
Yeah, I think USA is gonna get fucked on.
Who we got?
Ukraine's
Big
gonna get
Saudi.
Oh, come
fucked
on, dude. Illusion's on the rise.
UK's gonna get fucked on. Sweden's
Dude,
gone
Sweden.
downhill too. I know
Oh.
Maro's in the chat, but Maro, I don't know.
Xanister,
Without-
man. Xanister kicked some ass
Xanister's
in,
good.
in DreamHack, dude.
Oh, so you got nothing nice to say about Maro? Okay, Maro wrecked. Rip on.
Dude.
Next-
Stefan knows I love him. Jeez.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of the countries are pretty close. Whoever gets to play Italy first gets a free win. I mean, it's just gonna depend. I think we play Germany first, so I think Germany is like one of the stronger teams, and Canada is definitely one of the stronger teams. So Denmark. I mean,
This one.
I don't know.
What are server
Alright.
rules? Do you know what server rules are off the top of your head?
I do not. I
That's
just
nice.
I assume EU to KR is going to be an A. Other than that, it's hard to say. But that is actually a very big concern, to be honest.
What are
StarCraft
the
2
brackets?
players,
Apparently there are
especially.
brackets. Let me
Just
see
scroll
what we
down,
got.
big homie.
Oh,
Italy
shit.
plays Russia first,
Yes,
USA
there we
versus
go.
France,
Who
Germany,
got Italy?
Canada.
Russia.
Russia got Italy.
Russia is
Russia.
also
All US versus France. Holy shit. Let's see.
for
Italy. Oh,
freedom.
Russia. Who we got? We got Happy, Slivko, and Verity. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, France could totally truck on USA first round. Todd's been playing sick. Stefano's back in it. Daishi's really been sick.
Too. Oh, USA. Oh man, gotta pull on Miracle. Miracle on Crete, man. Let's see, who you guys playing? You're playing Germany.
Yeah, Germany's pretty tough, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that might be the
Who do you want?
high
Who do you
level
want on
first.
that team, man? Do you get to choose who you want to play on that?
I think it's the rules are everybody has one life and then you can revive one player. And then it's all kill format. So like if I play first, I play until I lose and then I'm dead. And then we send, Desro or Scarlet next. And then we
So
revive
basically,
Desro.
one person can play twice.
Yes.
Right. Okay, got it.
So it's like essentially a best of 7.
Is this how many days is this thing?
Um I think the first match starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think our first match is on the 25th or something. My Canada, Team Canada.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
cool,
think
man.
I
like
think
this,
it's
man.
yeah,
It's
I
really
think
neat.
it's very interesting. It was in fucking Brood War, Nation Wars was like one of the biggest things for the foreign community. It was like what people kind of got were really supportive of. So I'm very surprised that like it fucking took this long in StarCraft 2 for someone to do something like this, but I'm glad cuz I was like talking about it, I don't know, like 2 months ago, like saying that people should do this kind of thing because it would be really fun.
Right.
So glad that they finally did it. I'm just worried about like cross server and shit. It's definitely
That's probably been the main reason why it hasn't happened, and obviously getting all these players in one location is really expensive, so it has to happen online. I think for practical reasons. All right, let's just take a few more, guys. We're gonna have a shorter show, makes up for last week's show, which was like 4 hours last week.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Okay, let's see. Castle09, he's kind of got a long question here. This past weekend there was a CSGO tournament. Question on smaller tournaments, right? It was the SoCal Revival Land. It includes at least 2 premier teams in iBuyPower and Complexity Gaming, and it had some big names in the NA scene, including, but not limited to, Nothing, Swag, and Mo. The tournament was promoted by big names on the scene via Twitter, including Anders, Sir Scoots, Pansy, as well as on Reddit.
Yeah.
After all, the event was trying hard to push the 2K viewer mark. There wasn't any other content for CSGO at the time, yet it was receiving less than some home streamer. Is the bar just set really high nowadays with production? Does it mean it's not worth putting effort into what esports grew up with, which is smaller LAN events? Sorry if it seems a bit out of place with our StarCraft, but I was hoping Richard would be on. But I still think it's something that can be related across the major titles. Okay, so basically has the big organization set a precedent with higher production that the community, it's like this minimum bar that the community expects now, and lesser production events just are not going to get much.
So
Go ahead, Cody. You probably know.
well, the problem is North American Counter-Strike just isn't.
Big, yeah.
North America hasn't sunk its teeth back into Counter-Strike. So Complexity was there, which in my opinion is, I mean, both teams are really strong. I've known Jordan on Complexity for the longest, so I'm going to say they're my favorite North American team. And they did do a lot of tweets, like Jordan was tweeting a lot, even about making the trek down to the event. I unfortunately didn't get to catch the numbers. But yeah, just the European teams draw the
views.
They get more attention. I mean, Sir Scoot's actually, so Evil Geniuses just picked up a Call of Duty team, and he actually just made the remark that sort of like Counter-Strike lives in Europe right now, despite these great organizations supporting this really good esport.
Just a matter of time.
It wasn't a tremendous, but Counter-Strike numbers have also been great. So it's not even that this is a Counter-Strike specific problem. It was a this tournament in Counter-Strike specific problem.
Yeah, it's just going to take some time. And if you're speaking about overall, I guess, esports and smaller LAN events, we just had a Lone Star Clash that got, 20, 30,000 concurrents, while it was on, and the production level was not super high. I mean, it was probably closer to one of a LAN, like a smaller LAN type of event, because the type of budget it had, right? So, yeah, it can still be successful. I think it just matters that the scene just has to be vibrant enough that can support something like that, and secondly, just not overlapping with anything else.
I think the most important thing, I don't think it has almost anything to do with production, it just has to do with the fans of the people involved.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if you have a shittily produced tournament in like day 9 in Husky or casting, like you're going to get 20, 30, 40,000 viewers, like even if the production is relatively shitty. Whereas you can have the best produced tournament in the world, but if it's all a bunch of no names with like kind of newish casters and nobody really watches that much, then you're not going to get very many viewers. I think that the individual people's, or even like the teams, the fan bases are really important to get people to watch things and to be interested in things, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true, and that's kind of what Lone Star Clash does, right? They kind of pick and choose. Maybe half. I think maybe half the player pool is more about just the top Korean players, and the half are just more about favorites. I mean, White Raw, right? He was at the tournament.
Yeah.
When was the last time Alexi played StarCraft?
Wow.
I mean,
Wow, really, ChanManV?
Competitive StarCraft. Sorry, not.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's been
I'm
a
with
long
you,
time.
man.
I mean, I
I'm
love the guy to death. He's amazing for their community and being an ambassador and everything. But competitively, I don't think
Yeah.
he's there anymore. All right, one last question. Let's see, what's a good one? What's a good one to end things on? It's a question about Binsky, but it's a question about the game. Those are no fun. We've already talked about the game a lot. So there's a question. Okay, Wisty Wrist asked thoughts on the way the Swarm host game between Petrius and Stefano was handled by the ref at Lone Star Clash. What was that about? Like, was there something to be?
Apparently,
even
I
remember
wasn't
that.
watching at the time, but I read like a thread on it. Apparently, something happened where the ref wanted to call it a draw and then didn't want to call it draw. So I think the more general question is, in those types of situations, are we as a community or as tournament organizers, they should come up with like, how are they going to determine where should we just call this a game a draw, or should we keep playing this out? Because theoretically, someone's going to win no matter what at some point.
Yeah, unless you have
It's
some
just-
crazy scenario, right? With
Yeah,
flying
like,
buildings and shit like
It's
that.
just
This
going to
is
take
a-
a super really long time. So, like, where do we draw that line if we do draw a line? Basically, is
sure.
what I would say.
Wasn't there an issue with fuck? Was it DreamHack? There was another similar issue, and I think that one was misconstrued. I think the people tweeting about it got it wrong, but this is the second time it's come up.
Well, back in the day, there was an issue as far as at DreamHack where they played a certain amount of best of threes or round robins or something with 3 players, and then they flipped a coin. Is that what you're talking about, or talking about something else?
It was I think it was at the last DreamHack, and I maybe someone will Skype message me about it, where the player it was apparent that the player couldn't win, and he was trying to force a draw. Does anyone remember this?
Oh, I
I
do.
kind of remember
I do.
this.
And I
remember
think they actually got it wrong. Like, I think the person, it was resolved and they misconstrued what the admin had said. No, it was I-45. Dezo's got it. I see. Yeah, as the DreamHack admin spams Nope feverishly in the chat. Yeah, it was I-45.
Yes, it
yeah,
was
so
the
this stuff
Zerg
comes
player.
up.
The Hearthstone's teammate, Mini Razor, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They forced him to draw when
They
he was.
forced him to do it?
Pretty sure they forced him to do a regame when he shouldn't have had to.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's brutal. I
That's
feel
very
like
brutal.
if Mini Razor was Jaedong, I-45 would have had a ride on their hands, but
I-51. So the
Oh.
I-51. Yeah, Desro gave me that false info first. So I-45 was 2 years ago, but it was I-51, which is the last one.
what are
I'm
they?
sorry.
What kind of names are these? Are
I
these
know.
highways or something?
It's a highway.
So this is a UK tournament. Ben's gone to him a lot. Blink goes to him a lot, and then they they go up numerically for everyone they have.
Okay.
So sorry for the DreamHack. I'm sorry, buddy. I know I was stressing you out.
Oh, apparently they stopped it and gave the win to the opponent. That's even more fucked up. If that's
I feel
true.
like we're botching this story somehow because I know it was
this
resolved.
is
I
journalism
I
at
know,
its best right here.
I know
man.
after a few hours there were, because there was initially just like a lot of really extreme tweets about it, and then I feel like 2 hours later it was just everyone was just like, oops, kind of, it was dealt with.
Either
Wait,
way, it was bad. There was some stupid shit that happened there. But
Do we think that this is something that needs to be addressed though? Should the tournaments impose like a time limit? Because like
yeah,
tournaments even running sort of like best case scenario are often late. So, you know, what's StarCraft tournaments still try and pencil a best of 3 in an hour, right? So you play a single game that's 2 hours. Like your tournament day is just fucked. Do you think it's fair that there's sort of these
I
time
don't.
limits, or do you just
Well,
think
like
it's,
as a player, I feel like you should play that match as long as it takes. Um, that being said, like swarm host versus swarm host kind of shit, I feel like at some point you ask the players, or you say to the players, because obviously usually there's someone that's at an advantage and someone that's at a disadvantage that's like turtling in their main, right? And you just say, okay, like you have 5-10 minutes to like try to squeak out whatever advantage you want to do, and if you can't do that, then we'll regame. Because like ideally, as a player, I would wish they would let it play out as long as possible, even if it's not fun for anybody.
Yeah.
But because of everything, I would say after a certain amount of time where it's obviously not fucking going anywhere, say you have 5 to 10 minutes if you want to try to make a play and make progress. Like as long as there's progress, like even if he's just throwing units and he kills like 2 spores, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst is when they're max 200 and like absolutely nothing is happening ever. So
That's crazy though. That whole scenario is pretty crazy right there. So I usually don't take a question from iVoteKick, but he does pose a pretty good one in the chat here, and this is the last question. So the Lone Star Clash did have a tip jar there. I'm not sure if you guys were aware of that or not.
nope.
And in the tip jar, they would show it. I mean, one of the things that was cool about Lone Star Clash is they had this overlay, right? This overlay that kind of overlaid over just the camera and just seeing some of you guys just getting ready for shit. I thought that was actually kind of nice. But one of the things that they talked about was the tip jar, which they only had one tip jar, so you just donate to the tip jar, and then 50% went to casters, 40% went to players, and then 10% went to production. Yeah.
staff? Yeah.
So
What? Do I
what
get
do you
money?
guys think of that?
This is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Oh, really? Oh, so you didn't get anything from the tip jar?
Well, not.
They
not
might
no. I
distribute
mean, they
it.
might pay later or something, but
Okay.
my first reaction is like, how the fuck are they, like, monitoring this at all? Like, how much money's going in and who's it going to? And because there's like all kinds of questions, like how much did the casters cast? Why the fuck are the casters getting 50%?
That's the most compelling question from this. Okay, no, they.
So
So
are you getting any of this, dude?
Like, because we're
This is
players.
the first I heard of it. This is what I was going to say.
I
over you guys.
remember
Players-
seeing it too, but
How many players are there, and like how is it being split among those like 32 players, and then the 3 or 4 casters that are getting 50%?
I knew we were gonna
Like,
share up something here. Oh my god.
it
Fuck.
was a good question.
I know because like usually what people do is I know if Told Biscuit's done it and some other there's like a different link, right, depending on who you want to tip, right, and that's kind of how it
What
goes.
program are they using to track it?
I forget. And guys
Because
in the chat-
Chipin and all those programs are dead now. How are they? I remember because I was thinking about doing something similar to this, but all the programs that were
They probably
utilized
just
for this
donated
were like
to some
shut down.
PayPal account, right, and then they just split it like that.
I guess.
Wait,
Like,
looks like stream donations. Here we go.
I don't know
Pat Gamer.
about all the casters, but I know for sure, like, no offense to Jeff or Rotterdam, but they're not fucking going out there because they have a bleeding heart for Texas or anything. Like, I'm sure they made more money than most of the players. So it seems kind of skewed if 50% of it's going to, 3 or 4 casters.
Yeah, I don't know,
They
that
are
just seems
casting.
really
a lot-
weird.
I mean, aren't they? They are talking through a lot most of the games, though, right? So if you're gonna tip
Suck
some,
my dick.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a long time since there's been a conversation like this. Yeah, so it was linked and it was 50% to casters. Axel Toss insists that there's no anti-caster circle jerk right now because he had to send himself out there.
is Alex in the? Oh, Alex is in the chat here, huh?
Yeah.
All
In
right.
which case, I would suggest that he should get someone to represent him better to make sure that doesn't happen.
Shit.
Then, like, even that situation, then why wouldn't he get all the money from the donations until he makes as much money as the other casters? If he casts as much as the other casters. Or
yeah, that'd be fair.
It just seems very, like
It
very.
just, yeah. I mean, it seems weird to just have one tip jar, and then on top of that, this kind of weird breakdown.
Yeah, this feels like the sort of thing that was decided like like an hour before the tournament started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it.
Would it make you feel better, Huck, if it was 50% players and then 40% casters?
No, I would
what the
like
still.
I would like it if it was like actually defined and like something like I didn't even hear about it. Like what does that tell you about like what the fuck this is and then like is
Maybe
it
they didn't
going
get any. Maybe they didn't get anybody donating to the tip jar.
Oh, they obviously they got I mean if it was on the stream or something then
It was
obviously
definitely on the stream. It was on the stream basically between every match.
yeah,
So-
I don't know. I think like they need to fucking bring this up a lot earlier and
Well,
see.
so maybe okay, so 40%. I was assuming that the player part was just going to the prize
And-
pool.
Yeah, and then there's
but-
like 30 there's 32 players I think. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it at all.
Yeah,
I think
because
it
of
was
the
stupid.
quagmire then too is like, the prize pool is increased, and like someone like Alexi who hasn't been practicing a lot and just coming up to play this tournament, is he entitled to as much as the people who went really deep or the people who made it through their groups?
Yeah.
It just gets very,
No, somebody's saying wasn't it 50% to the player prize pool? No, I'm pretty sure it was 50% casters and then 40% players.
Well, that's what it says on the link that was provided,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, sure.
so there's no way we
So-
can be wrong.
Yeah, there's no way we're wrong there. Yeah, so that was
Stupid.
interesting.
It's fucking
I don't
stupid.
even know, how it's gonna work, but it
Like-
doesn't sound like Alex. I wonder if Alex. Should I pull Alex on here? See if he knows anything about it too. Here we go. Let me
Is
pull
it coming
Alex.
in?
Alex, you better watch what you say.
You better
You're
watch
not
what
gonna
you
get
say, boy.
not gonna get that money from this tip jar.
Uh-oh. What's
Why
up,
are you
Alex
saying
Foss?
that? Why is that the first thing I hear from you, Steven?
So do you know anything about this tip jar, dude? What's the deal?
I mean, I didn't know about it leading into the thing. It's just one of those, like, kind of like the Indiegogo thing. It's one of those things I think they just added in, hoping to get some additional funding, because obviously we saw how the Indiegogo thing kind of went.
The additional funding to what though? I mean,
Yeah,
they
like,
already
if
had
I-
a prize pool covered, and then they already paid the casters.
I think it's one of those things where they're just kind of hoping to kind of. I'm not sure what kind of money they borrowed or what kind of where they actually got the money, but I went in. I did it for free. I didn't accept any money. I drove my car up there. I got my own
Good
hotel
guy.
room. And I inquired like lightly about the money, because it's kind of cool to get something out of it, because it is a decent amount of work. So
But you guys knew about it,
Even-
right? Like
but,
all the
like-
casters knew that overlay was being put on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like even if that's the case, then why wouldn't they just say, okay, if you want to tip to the tournament and we'll put it towards
So what's the
Production.
overarching question here? Just curious.
like
Overarching?
where the fuck did this come from? Like was
The
it
overlay?
the day before the tournament? They just like bunch of tournament admins got together and they're like, we want money.
Yeah.
You want money too? Okay, let's do this. I mean, it seems extremely shit.
I mean, the biggest secret or the biggest thing in esports kind of a thing is how do you get that money back? So it's like, maybe it's one of those things that are just like, okay, let's try something out and see if it works. Obviously, we can all have our own opinions about whether or not it's good, but it's just not a situation where it turns
No,
out
I mean
like,
a
okay,
tip jar.
But
A tip jar is one thing, Alex, where it's like you're tipping for the tournament organizers, right,
Yeah.
and help cover costs or whatever,
Sure,
that sort of thing.
sure.
It's another thing when the breakdown's like right there, and it's like 50% goes to casters, 40% goes to players, and 10%
Yeah.
goes to production.
'Cause I
that's like
guarantee-
totally different. I mean,
I guarantee no player was approached about this.
So
But
I-
obviously the casters were, right?
So I'm confused. So are you like, what's your main concern, Chris? Is it that the casters are getting a percentage of it, or what?
Like,
The
how
money's
was
gonna
this
get
decided?
jacked and not
Yeah.
distributed.
Like what the player? It's like this deal.
so the
with-
percentage breakdown basically. So
yeah,
you've
the
got,
percentage
like,
breakdown.
Gotcha,
Usually
gotcha.
the tip jars are like individualized,
Okay,
right? There's a
okay.
link for you, like
Yeah.
there's a link for Axeltoss, there's a link for In Control, there's a link
Yeah.
for whatever.
just
and
this.
there's a player
this, like-
pool donation
yeah,
deal-
link, and
the generic kind of feel of the overlay and how they presented the percentages. Yeah. No, I wasn't in the
Yeah.
the discussion to make that decision or whatever. And I would probably agree with you. Maybe if anyone's paying money, you obviously want to know exactly where your money is going towards. So maybe a little bit more transparency there, or a better way to kind of set that up could have been certainly better.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, 'cause- okay, so Alex, just frankly, it just implies that the casters are more, like, are more.
I'm
reason
just-
because
why,
the
like,
50
tips
versus
are
40?
being-
No, I'm just
like-
concerned because like the deal went down, right? And casters were approached, and they're like, "What do you think about this?" Casters like, give us like 20% more, and then we can do this. And the players like.
I doubt it was.
We
that,
didn't.
right?
Yeah, but
No,
we didn't
I'll
even
tell
get
you exactly what
approached.
happened.
We didn't even
It
get
wasn't
talked to. That's what
I'll
I mean.
tell
I
you
want to
exactly
know
what
how
happened.
this went down.
Yeah, I mean, I personally didn't know it was happening, going in, and I don't think Rotterdam or In Control did either. I was sitting back there on the casting desk. They handed me a note card and they said, "Okay, announce this," and they were telling me about the percentage. And I looked at it. I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind because I don't like asking for money. That's not something I do. So I'm like, Jeff, can you handle this? And he did a really elegant job of actually explaining it,
Yeah.
and he actually joked around about it too. So, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have an opinion. I didn't have any weight. I didn't think honestly a lot about how they didn't. I didn't ask any questions as much. And actually, on the card they gave us, it said 40% for the casters, 50% for the players. But on the overlay, it said 50% for the
the
casters.
overlay
40%
said
for
that opposite.
So at the end of the day, I don't know too much. It's just a decision they made, and go with the flow, I guess.
Well, I'm sure the casters are ready to go for the flow.
God,
I'm going for the
we're
flow
not
too.
starting. So,
I mean,
anyways, like I
don't
was
know.
just curious about all that and just how.
I mean,
It's
I'm
not
not-
like
I'm not
it's not like
directing
I'm gonna get
I-
$1 million.
I know,
basically.
of course, but I'm saying like
There's probably not
you-
much money. Let's just be honest, right?
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just it's like really shady
willing to
and
bet-
stupid.
I'm willing to bet the reason why it hasn't been brought up to the players at all is because they probably only got. I don't know the actual numbers. I mean, maybe Alex does. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet they got like less than $100 in there, and they don't want to like even take the
Oh, I
time
bet
to
it's more than
distribute it.
$100. They showed it so
You
many
think so?
times. I mean,
Did they?
it's like-
I never even remember hearing
It's in
about
between
it.
like
So.
every game.
Can we did anyone in the chat actually donate? I mean, we can kind of crowdsource a little bit on information.
All right,
here.
let's straw poll this baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a straw poll. How many people actually donated to the Whoops. Yeah, straw
Now,
poll.
now
No.
before you vote, please keep in mind that if you say that you did donate, we can prolong this drama just a little bit longer. So keep in mind keep in mind
Did
what
you
I
your
wanna look at
goals
receipts
are
here.
for the day.
Chanman, did you really just link strawpoll.me?
I was trying to cut and paste it into the.
Wait,
Oh.
no.
I mean,
So every player did get paid. Sorry, quick side question. Do y'all know the prize pool distribution? Like how that was handled? Like Chris, how much money
Oh,
did
that-
you?
that Chris.
I think I
get for
got
it?
I'm getting 250. Obviously,
Okay.
tournaments like some tournaments pay like they give you a check there. They give you like ESL. They pay you a year and a half later. No, I'm just kidding. Like 6 months later. But
Nice.
I'm not sure how they're handling.
Holy
Because
shit.
They usually do it where every player gets paid because it's 16 players, which I think is kind of cool.
Mm.
There's a
But,
lot of people.
No,
do it.
top 8 got paid.
oh, top 8. Okay.
Unless people
But
are lying here.
I just like this would be one of my biggest complaints about Lone Star Clash now is that it's just like extremely sloppily put together
Sure.
and like very amateurish and like there's no way to track it and whatever. Like because I don't like my
It's just-
concern
it's
is
just
like
the little things, man. It's just
Yeah,
the little things that were just
yeah.
not right this time around,
Yeah.
and unfortunately,
Like,
this is one of them too.
if I'm streaming and some guy's like, oh, I donated for the Lone Star Clash thing. I hope it goes to support you. Like, I have nothing to fucking say to that. Like.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it because I'm maybe gonna get that money, or maybe not, or you just paid for In Control's lunch, or whatever.
Oh,
Sure. Yeah.
sure.
I hear you 100%.
132 people
Yeah.
actually donated to this thing.
Wow.
And it's only the people that are from this chat, and they could be
This
lying.
straw poll
It's
is fucked. The
Yeah,
straw
it's a
poll is fucked
stupid-
because of what I said. You can't rely on this for anything.
Fuck you, Cody.
All right,
I thought that
whatever.
was apparent from the
Screw.
get-go. I thought I was
no,
being
it was
funny.
it was a stupid poll. Like the amount of people that are watching this show that actually watched Lone Star Clash, that actually donated, that
Sure.
actually, it's like, what are you gonna
Well,
get from that poll?
I'll let y'all know how much I get. So we'll see.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
know.
good, Alex. Yeah, we're just curious if you knew anything about it more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope this isn't the thing that people are talking about as far as Lone Star Clash is concerned.
No.
It was a fantastic tournament, and it started from a grassroots thing. I personally thought it wasn't as well organized and run as well as the first two Lone Star Clashes, and that has a big part to do, I think, with the Rosen twins not being as involved as they usually are.
Well, they were at the end, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I had a good time at the event. It was fun seeing a lot of cool people, and a lot of volunteers there are freaking awesome. And it's like they're not getting paid at all. They spent literally their entire weekend before finals week putting this thing together, which I think that's.
I feel like with something like that in mind, the way the tip jar was stacked should have perhaps been the absolute
more.
inverse.
Yeah, to staff.
Yeah,
or
it should have just been like on to production.
Sure.
That would have
Yeah,
been fine.
I would have loved it. Yeah.
Sure.
So, just
Well, thank you
little
for making that
comment.
recommendation. I mean, now tournaments in the future, might start doing that. So it's,
Exactly.
at the end of
Watching
the day,
you guys,
productive
right.
conversation. Yes.
these tip jars won't go unnoticed and unchecked anymore.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, it was fun, guys.
All right. Later.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my biggest concern is just like, I just felt like it should have been better announced and better regulated and gone to the right things. I mean, if they're putting up this Indigo whatever thing and they're like getting 6,000 out of 40,000 and maybe it's someone's money that they're gonna be broke on, why not put the money towards that or the staff? Because like I said, the staff was fucking great, like the best staff I've had in I don't know a year or 2 years.
I bet it was just something that was like last second. They thought it would be cool, and
They were wrong.
they just laid it out wrong. I mean,
Yeah, the
that's-
execution left something to be
execution.
desired, but it was still a good idea, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But no, we're not implying the casters wanted to get more money or anything like that. I'm sure they had nothing to do with it. Like, so it's just kind of interesting. Fucking I vote kick. He just knows how to press my buttons, man. But that's gonna be it for the show. I think we're gonna wrap up the show, and pretty good week. Good stuff. Another good week of tournaments, and I think Nation Wars the only thing coming up this week. Anything else?
Lots of law stuff.
Yeah, the
but-
All-Star thing for LoL, but StarCraft wise, anything else? Nothing else, right?
I'm just glad we got to that tip jar. This was like a very filtered episode until we got to that.
Yeah, true. But Huck, thanks for stopping by, hanging out with us.
Wow, I'm already getting like interview questions about this tip jar thing. Can't tell if troll or what. Fucking yeah. Anyways, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad we talked about the issues we talked about. It was really fun. I love StarCraft 2. I think Nation Wars is going to be sick, and I hope I wasn't too filtered. That EG money in my mouth makes me not say so much stuff, but I was pretty crazy.
Nice. Cool. Any shout outs you want to do?
No.
God, ouch. You're so
Wow.
anti-EG, man.
Yeah. Correct.
Cody. You want to do
You're
any
telling
shout outs?
me.
Thank
You're
you.
telling me. Thanks for having me on again. This is my third week, and I really like doing this show. I'm glad that me and Chris could make amends in front of all 3,000 guys. I'm trying to think if there's. I did an article today on the Daily Dot about the differences
Link.
between all the big
Link it.
about all the big stream platforms, and I was able to talk to people from MLG, Twitch, and Azubu, so I'll just link that in chat as well. I think that's it. I don't think I have any more shoutouts to give.
Cool. Steven?
Just a normal Destiny.gg/shave, Destiny.gg/tame. Check out razors, check out cell phones. That's all I got for today. Oh, and the Phoenix stuff.
Alright, good stuff. And then I'll just say thank you, three guys, for obviously doing the show with me. Check out Huck and I and just the rest of the Wednesday Night Sprites crew tomorrow night playing some more StarCraft 2 arcade, and I still believe in the arcade, guys, so god damn it, come and play the arcade, alright? I don't care how bad the UI is in the arcade, just come and freaking play. And we've been playing a lot of Zealot Hockey lately, and Zealot Hockey's been fun as shit, right, Chris? Shit. Okay, but anyways, check that out, guys. 10:30 Eastern tomorrow night. And then for me, Thursday is going to be Value Town, as always, 2 p.m. Eastern. And Friday, no Deck Wars, guys, because we're planning a end of the season Deck Wars event with all the winners for next weekend. So check that out, too. That's going to be it. I guess the VODs are going to be up at youtube.com/ChanManV. Just as always, you guys know where to look. I'll probably post the link to the VODs in the original post of the Unfiltered thread right now, so I don't have to start another one. I'm just lazy, I guess. I don't want to post too much now on Reddit. It's got me all crazy now, So I'll probably do that whenever it's posted. It'll be up in the next 20-30 minutes probably. And yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys, for Unfiltered. Oh, buy a shirt! Buy a shirt right here, guys. Buy a shirt.
Sell out.
Unfiltered shirt. Shop.csa.gg. And support the show. These wonderful shirts I have. Actually, Steven, you got yours on today or no? No, that shirt looks a little faded.
Yep.
No, exactly. So, yeah. Anyways, buy a shirt. You can just treat it like a tip jar for Unfiltered, and I'll be sure to give it some to the other guys too. All right, guys. That's gonna be
50%,
it.
40%.
That's right. I'm not sure how the breakdown's gonna be between the three guys, but all right, guys. That's gonna be it for Unfiltered. We'll see you next time. Later.